In the year 2097, Earth had changed. Humans were no longer alone in the universe. 3 years ago, the first alien signal was received. Since then, Earth had seen many strange things: flying objects, lights in the sky, and sounds no human could explain, but no one expected what happened next. One cold night, a spaceship came crashing down from the stars. It burned like a fireball, breaking through the clouds, shaking the ground as it hit deep in the forest outside a small city. Military teams arrived quickly. The area was locked down. No news channels were allowed near. Soldiers found the broken ship burned, black and silent. Inside they found a body. It was a woman, but not human. Her skin was pale blue. Her eyes were closed. Her body was cold, not breathing. They thought she was dead. She didn't survive the crash. One officer said they took her body to a hidden place, a government graveyard for alien remains. No one was told. No one was supposed to know. They buried her alone, deep underground. In the forest, no name, no coffin, no words, just silence, but something was not right. Leo was a simple man. He worked as a night caretaker at the edge of the city, near the same forest. He didn't believe in aliens. He only believed in two things: silence and peace. Every night, he took his old truck, drove to the graveyard, and walked with a flashlight. Just a regular job, but one night, everything changed. It was raining. The air felt heavy. Leo lit his cigarette and stepped out of the truck. As he walked past the graves, he heard something, a soft sound. Like a whisper. He stopped. Looked around. Nothing. He took a few steps more, and then he saw something on the ground. A trail of glowing blue liquid. It looked like blood, but it shined in the dark. Leo followed the trail. It led to a grave that wasn't there the day before, a fresh one. He stepped closer. The ground was moving. Breathing, his heart began to race. Then he saw a hand, a pale blue hand, reach up through the soil. Leo froze. The hand trembled. Weak. Slow. But alive. The earth cracked open, and from it the woman rose. Her hair was silver. Her eyes opened bright like stars. Her skin was cold and covered in mud. Leo fell back. What the hell? She looked at him, weak, shaking, trying to speak. Her lips moved, but only a soft sound came out. Help me. Leo stared at her in shock. You're not dead? She looked around, scared, confused. Her breathing was slow, shallow. Leo didn't know what to do. Should he run? Call someone? But something in her eyes stopped him. She didn't look dangerous. She looked afraid. I'm not going to hurt you, Leo said softly. She looked at him, then slowly fell to her knees. Leo stepped forward, took off his jacket, and covered her. He had never seen anything like her, but she was alive, and she needed help. He couldn't leave her here. So he made a decision that would change everything. Back at his small cabin near the woods, Leo lit the fireplace. He gave her water, warm clothes, and an old blanket. She sat in silence, still shaking, still weak. He asked, "What's your name?" She looked at him, confused, not understanding. So he pointed at himself. "Leo." Then he pointed at her. She paused. Then slowly she said, "Zalara." Leo smiled nervously. "Okay, Zalara, you're safe now." She pointed to her arm. A deep wound was glowing blue. Her blood was like light. Leo cleaned it carefully. "You're not human, are you?" She said nothing. Then she picked up a pencil and started drawing. On paper, fast, like she had done it many times. Symbols, stars, circles, strange shapes. Leo watched. "What is this?" he asked. Zalara looked into his eyes and said something that gave him chills. "They are coming." Leo didn't know who they were, but her voice was full of fear. Suddenly, a sound came from outside, the sound of tires on wet ground. Leo looked out the window. A black van had stopped outside. No lights, no markings, just sitting there. Waiting. The black van sat quietly outside Leo's cabin. Rain tapped on the windows. Wind whispered through the trees. Inside, Leo held his breath. He peeked through the curtain. No one stepped out, no sound. Just waiting. He turned back. Zalara was still sitting near the fireplace, her silver hair wet, her pale blue skin glowing softly in the dim light. "We need to go," Leo whispered. Zalara looked at him, weak but alert. She nodded slowly. Leo grabbed his keys, a coat, and helped her to her feet. Her legs were still shaking, but she stood. He wrapped a scarf around her face. If anyone saw her, it was over. They stepped into the cold night. The van's headlights turned on. "Run!" Leo shouted. They ran through the trees. Zalara stumbled, but Leo held her arm tight. Behind them, the van's door opened. Footsteps followed. Flashlights danced in the dark forest, but Leo knew these woods better than anyone. 10 minutes later, they reached an old greenhouse behind an abandoned cabin. Leo used to fix plants here. No one came anymore. He opened the rusted door, helped Zalara inside, and locked it. They sat on the floor, gasping, wet and scared. Zalara closed her eyes. Her skin flickered, like light inside her was breaking. Leo touched her shoulder. "Are you okay?" She looked at him. "Not much time. He didn't understand. She picked up a broken stick and began drawing in the dirt, a large circle. Inside, "It's stars, a triangle, a symbol." Leo watched closely. "What is this?" Zalara's voice was soft but clear now. "It's a beacon." "A beacon?" "A message. Hidden. Long ago, I came to find it." Leo sat down beside her. "Why would they bury you instead?" "They. I was dead, but I shut down. My body slows when in danger, like sleep." Leo nodded slowly, like hibernation. "Yes." Zalara leaned back. Her breathing was heavy. Leo stood up and walked around. He opened an old wooden box and found an apple. He offered it. Zalara stared at it. She held it like it was a treasure, then bit slowly. Her eyes widened. "Sweet," Leo chuckled. "First time eating human food?" She smiled, a soft, strange smile. "First time. Hours passed. Leo gave her an old hoodie. It was large and covered her body better. She looked almost human now, but her glowing eyes still stood out. "Zalara," Leo said, "why are they chasing you?" She didn't answer at first. Then she looked into his eyes. "I ran from them. I stole something." "What?" She pointed to her chest. "Inside me. Is a code, the location of a weapon." Leo froze. "A weapon?" She nodded. "Not to destroy. To protect." "Protect what?" "Earth." Leo didn't understand. "You came to protect Earth?" "Yes, there is a war between stars. Earth doesn't know. But it is in the middle. My people tried to warn yours. But your leaders don't listen." Leo remembered the hidden graveyard. The silence? "The black van. Yeah," he muttered. "That sounds like them." Suddenly, there was a bang on the greenhouse wall. Then another. Zalara stood, alert. "They found us." Leo opened the trapdoor under the plant table. "Come on!" They slid into the dark space under the greenhouse. Cold and narrow. Above them, footsteps, voices, flashlights. "They must be close," a man said. "Search everything." Zalara held her breath. Her body dimmed its glow. Leo stayed still, heart pounding. For 15 minutes, the men searched. Then they left. Leo and Zalara waited longer. Then climbed out. By sunrise, they reached a small town miles away. Leo had an old friend there, a mechanic named June. June was tough, quiet, and trusted no one. But she owed Leo a favor inside her garage. Zalara sat while Leo explained. "She's not human," June whispered, shocked. "I know. She's glowing. I know." June stared. "And you want me to hide her?" "Yes, just for a day." June sighed. "I must be crazy." She gave Zalara clothes, food, and a place to rest. That evening, Leo checked on Zalara. She sat with her eyes closed, holding a piece of metal, old, alien tech from her ship. "Are you fixing something?" Leo asked. She nodded. "Translator, my voice, not clear." He sat beside her. "Your voice is fine." Zalara looked at him. "You don't fear me?" Leo shook his head. "You didn't kill anyone." "You just want to go home," Zalara whispered. "I don't have a home anymore." He didn't know what to say. Then she looked up, her eyes serious. "You must help me find the beacon." "Before they do." "Why me?" She touched his hand. Because you listened, and because I saw you in my dream before I crashed. Leo's eyes widened. What? Zilara nodded slowly. And far, far above Earth in deep space, something dark was moving closer. The rain did not stop. It fell harder now, as if the sky itself was warning Earth. The black van stood still outside Leo's cabin, like a hungry animal waiting in the dark. Inside, Leo stared through the window, heartbeat loud in his ears. The alien woman Zilara sat quietly by the fire, her silver hair still dripping water, her skin pale blue, her body trembling. What do they want from you? Leo asked. Zilara looked up, her voice soft, almost robotic. They think I'm dangerous. Leo grabbed his coat and looked out again. Are you? She didn't answer. He made a choice. We leave, now. Zilara nodded once. Leo led her out the back door. His boots hit the wet ground hard, splashing through puddles as they ran into the forest. Zilara struggled to keep up her legs, still weak, but she didn't stop. Behind them, a van door slammed. Flashlights turned on. Shouts echoed. Footsteps followed. Go left. Leo whispered. They moved deeper into the trees, where the fog was thick and shadows covered them like blankets. They reached an old tool shed, rusted and forgotten. Leo pushed the door open. Inside! They slid in, closing the door behind them. For a while they just breathed. Zilara sat on a wooden box, holding her side. Leo saw the faint blue glow. Again, her wound wasn't healing right. I need time, she said quietly. Leo found an old towel and handed it to her. Time we don't have. Zilara looked up. They are not from Earth, the ones chasing me. They wear human skin, but they are not human. Leo stared. What? They are shapeshifters from another system. I stole something from them. A key. To what? A weapon, she said. Or maybe a memory. Leo frowned. Why? Would they bury you instead of locking you up? They thought I was unalive. But my kind, when we are in danger, our body shuts down. We call it survival sleep. Leo sat across from her, trying to understand. Zilara took a small piece of broken metal from her pocket, a chip cracked and humming faintly. This, she said, is part of the key. She handed it to him. It was warm, even in the cold air. It must reach the beacon, or the war will come here. Leo raised an eyebrow. War? She nodded. My people tried to keep Earth hidden. But now, too late. Suddenly, a knock hit. The shed wall. Leo froze. Another knock. Closer. They weren't alone. He pointed to a trapdoor under a rug. This way! They climbed into a narrow tunnel, once used for storm drainage. It smelled of rust and wet leaves. Zilara moved slowly. Behind him, holding the wall. Above, voices. She was here. I feel it. Then silence. They didn't stop until morning. Sunlight filtered through the trees as they reached the edge of a small town. Zilara's hoodie covered her face now. She looked more human, but not fully. Leo brought her to an old diner. It opened early, and the cook owed him a favor. In the back kitchen they sat by the heater. Zilara looked at the people through the window. They do not know. They do not feel what's coming. Leo handed her a coffee. No, we never do until it's too late. She sipped it and smiled for the first time. Sweet, she said, like wind in my home sky. Leo looked at her closely. What's your planet like? Zilara paused, eyes distant. Blue deserts. Singing stones. Light that never dies. But it's gone now. What happened? She didn't speak for a long time. Then they came. The same ones chasing me now? Leo leaned in. Then we stopped them. Together. Zilara touched his hand. Her skin was cold, but her voice was warm. You are not like others. He smiled. I get that a lot. Suddenly Zilara stood. Her eyes glowing faintly. She turned toward the door. What is it? Leo asked. They found us. Outside, a man stood across the street, staring. Too still. Too perfect, Zilara whispered. Not human. Leo pulled her back. Time to run again. But Zilara didn't move. No, we send a message first. I must reach high ground. A tower, antenna, anything Leo thought for a moment. I know a place. They traveled to the edge of town where an old radio station stood. No one used it anymore. Leo broke the lock. Inside, wires hung like webs and dust covered everything. Zilara moved fast now. She plugged the chip into an old panel. Sparks flew. Lights flickered. What are you doing? Leo asked. Waking up the sky. Suddenly, a soft hum filled the room. The beacon activated. A signal was sent, not loud but deep, like a voice only space could hear. Zilara stepped back, breathing hard. They will hear it, my people. Leo looked outside. The strange man was gone. Zilara looked at the stars, then at Leo. They'll come, but I don't know who will come first, my people or the enemy. Asterisk for the first time in days, Zilara slept. She lay quietly on a dusty couch in the old radio tower. Her silver hair spread like soft wires, her chest rising and falling in rhythm. Her skin no longer glowed so brightly, just a faint shimmer remained. Leo sat beside a broken window, watching the morning sky. He hadn't slept. His eyes were red, his body tired, but his mind was racing. What had he gotten himself into? A woman from another world. A beacon call sent into space. A warning of a coming war. He lit a match, then blew it out without using it. No point in smoking now, he muttered. Suddenly, he heard a faint buzzing. Leo looked over. The broken control panel Zilara had used was lighting up again. A small screen blinked. Incoming signal. Unknown origin. Leo stared. A low, pulsing sound came from the speaker. Not a human voice, not even a word, but a feeling. It was like something calling back. Zilara opened her eyes slowly. She looked at the screen. They heard me, she whispered. Leo blinked. Your people? Yes, or ... maybe not. I don't know who answered. She stood up, wobbling a little, and stared at the message. Leo asked, what does it mean? Zilara touched the screen. It means the hunt has started. 2 hours later, they were on the road again. Leo had borrowed an old motorcycle from his cousin's barn. It was loud and ugly, but it worked. Zilara sat behind him, her arms around his waist, her eyes scanning the sky. They rode through the empty roads, past broken billboards and silent farms. The world seemed calm, but she could feel it. Someone is tracking the signal, Zilara said over the engine noise. Leo frowned. How do you know? She closed her eyes. Because I can feel them like cold fingers on my mind. They passed a gas station. No cars. Just a man standing outside, staring, too still, too clean. Zilara's grip tightened. Don't stop, she whispered. Leo sped up. The man outside the station tilted his head, his eyes turned black. They reached a deserted mountain town by late afternoon. Leo knew a man there named Red, an ex-soldier who now ran a junkyard. Red owed Leo a favor. Inside the junkyard, Leo explained what was happening. Red, tall with a scar down his neck, looked at Zilara, then back at Leo. You're telling me this girl is an alien? He said. Leo nodded. And people, things are hunting her. Red scratched his beard. Well, you always like trouble. He handed Leo a duffel bag. Some gear, old tech, might help. Zilara touched a broken metal cube inside the bag. It glowed for a second, then clicked. She smiled. This was ours from before. Red looked confused. Leo asked, can we stay here tonight? Red nodded. Shed's empty. But if anything moves funny, I shoot first. Zilara didn't react. Understood? That night it rained again. Inside the junkyard shed, Zilara sat cross-legged on the floor, fixing a small handheld device. It looked like a compass, but it spun in every direction. Leo watched her. What is that? She replied. Tracker. I'm trying to locate the weapon's resting place. Leo rubbed his eyes. I still don't understand. You came to Earth to find a weapon buried here, not buried, hidden, she said. A long time ago, my kind visited this planet. We left something behind. Something powerful. I carry the coordinates inside me. That's why they want me. Leo was quiet for a moment, then, why Earth? Zilara looked into his eyes. Because Earth has something special. Something no other world has. What? Your hearts? She whispered. Your chaos. Your love, your anger. You're unpredictable. That's why they fear you, Leo laughed once. We fear ourselves too. Suddenly the tracker glowed red. Zalara stood up fast. They're near. Outside, Red stood with his shotgun. I hear something. A rustling, then silence, then a scream. Red turned, gun ready, but too late. Something leaped from the shadows, fast as light. It wasn't a man. It wore a man's face, but its body stretched wrong, twisted, liquid, and sharp. Leo ran out with Zalara. Red fired, once, twice, but the bullets passed through it like mist. Zalara stepped forward, raised the glowing tracker, and threw it at the creature. A bright flash, the creature screamed and vanished in smoke, but Red was down. Bleeding. Leo held him. Stay with me, Red smiled weakly. You always bring fun. And passed out. Later, inside the shed, Zalara whispered, They're coming faster now. They felt the signal. Leo packed supplies. Then we go now. Where does the map lead? Zalara pointed to a location on an old paper map. The desert, a place called Silence Valley. Leo nodded. We'll find it. She looked at him seriously. They'll try to stop us. They'll send more, worse ones. Leo grabbed a metal pipe and grinned. Then we hit back harder. Zalara blinked, then smiled, and above them something fell through the clouds, fast and glowing. The sky tore open like paper. A burning object fell fast, crashing into the desert hills near Silence Valley. Smoke rose into the clouds, black and tall. The ground shook for miles. Leo and Zalara watched from a distance, their motorcycle parked behind a broken sign that read, Welcome to Silence Valley. Though the valley itself was anything but silent now, Zalara squinted. That's not one of ours. Leo lowered his binoculars. So not a rescue ship? She shook her head slowly. No, that's them. They moved fast through the dry desert, keeping to the rocks and shadows. The sun above was hot, the wind dry. Zalara's hoodie did little to hide her alien features in full daylight, so they only moved at dusk. They reached an old radio tower, half buried in sand. Zalara stood still, closed her eyes, and whispered something in a language Leo didn't understand. A soft tone beeped from the ground beneath her feet. There, she said. Below us, the map was right. Leo looked around. How do we get inside? Zalara held up a crystal-shaped key from her jacket. This unlocks the chamber. But if we open it, they will feel it. We'll deal with that, Leo said, back in town. Someone was watching them. He wore the face of a man named Will, a gas station worker, someone people saw every day. But inside he was not Will. His eyes glowed briefly when no one looked. His voice, when alone, sounded more like electricity than breath. He whispered into his wrist device. Target is at the beacon ruin. Prepare swarm. Then he smiled, the human smile he had copied so perfectly. Back in the desert, Leo and Zalara opened the chamber. A circular platform rose slowly from the sand, revealing stairs made of glass like metal, glowing dimly with old alien light. They walked down together, one step at a time, inside. The walls were covered with symbols, the same ones Zalara had drawn days ago. The chamber pulsed like a heartbeat. In the center was a tall pillar of light, frozen in crystal. Zalara walked toward it. This is the seed, she said. Not a weapon, not really. It stores memory, truth, from before the war, Leo asked. Truth about what? About your world. About what was lost? She touched the crystal. Suddenly, images filled the room, floating, alive, spinning around them, a younger Earth, alien ships in the sky. Peace between humans and visitors, long ago. Then war, fire, lies. Leo stepped back. You were here before? Yes, thousands of years ago. We were your allies. We helped your kind grow. But then someone changed the story. The images shifted to darkness, shadows with eyes. The shapeshifters, they came to divide us. They erased our help. Made you forget. Leo clenched his jaw. And now they're doing it again. Zalara nodded. Unless we stop them. Outside, dust swirled violently. A low hum spread across the valley. Leo looked up from the chamber steps. Something's wrong, he said. Zalara looked around, sensing it too. Then came the sound, a screech, sharp and cold. Figures appeared at the valley's edge. Too many to count, all human in shape, but not human in movement. Their arms too long, eyes too wide. Some crawled, some hovered. Zalara's voice dropped to a whisper. They've activated the swarm. Leo pulled her behind him. What do we do? She looked at the seed. We wake it. She placed both hands on the crystal and closed her eyes. A pulse shot through the air. The swarm screamed in pain. Some collapsed. Others twisted. Leo's ears rang. Zalara was shaking. It's working, but not enough. I need time, Leo nodded. Then I buy you that time. He ran to the chamber's exit and picked up a metal rod from the sand. It wasn't much, but it would do. The first shapeshifter lunged at him. Leo swung hard, knocking it back. I'm done running. Suddenly, a truck roared over the hill. It was red. Bandaged, bruised, but alive. He leaned out with a shotgun. Need a hand? Leo laughed. Took you long enough. Red began firing. The swarm scattered under the blast. Leo joined him, fighting side by side. The shapeshifters shrieked and hissed. Their forms flickered, some turning into smoke, others melting into the sand. Down below, Zalara's body glowed brighter than ever. Inside the seed, ancient code spun faster and faster. The light reached her eyes, and she remembered everything. Then, silence. The swarm stopped. Frozen. Zalara stepped out of the chamber. Her voice was no longer soft. You do not belong here, she said. She raised her hand. The seed glowed again, and the swarm began to burn, turning into light, then dust, then gone. Leo and Red stood in awe. Zalara walked slowly toward them. Leo asked, What now? She looked up at the stars. They'll send more, but now we send something too. She raised the seed crystal high. A new pulse shot into space. Call not for help, but for allies. Asterisk. The night was calm again. Too calm. Zalara stood on the hill where the seed had sent its final signal. The desert air felt strange, thin, like it had been emptied by something unseen. Red sat on the back of his truck, wrapping his arm. So, that's it? We beat them? Leo didn't answer. He was staring at Zalara. She hadn't moved in 5 minutes. Her eyes were open, glowing faintly, but her body was stiff, frozen like stone. Zalara? Leo stepped forward. Can you hear me? No response. He touched her shoulder, cold. Suddenly, her head snapped toward him, eyes wide, but she didn't look at Leo. She looked through him and whispered, They're inside. Zalara fell to her knees. She clutched her head, trembling. They found a way into my mind. I opened the seed too. Far. I let them in. Leo grabbed her. What do you mean? My memories. They're not just mine anymore. That night, they hid in an old underground bunker Red knew about, a place built during old wars. Long before aliens. Inside, Zalara lay on a bed, eyes closed, breathing fast. Leo watched helplessly. She's in pain. But there's nothing I can do. Red poured coffee. So these shapeshifters, they can read thoughts now? Leo nodded. They got in when she used the seed. The connection went both ways. Red paced. Then they know everything we know. They know who we are, where we are, what she is. Leo looked at Zalara. We need to go inside. Red stopped. Inside her mind? She said they trapped her thoughts. Maybe I can pull her out. Red raised an eyebrow. You're not a mind doctor, Leo. Leo stared at Zalara. No, but I'm her only link to this world. Zalara woke. Briefly, her voice was weak. There's a gate inside me. If you cross it, you'll see everything. Leo leaned closer. How? She touched his forehead with her fingers. Light flashed. The room disappeared. Leo opened his eyes. He was not in the bunker anymore. He was inside a glowing world. Floating. No ground. No sky. Just memory. Images spun around him. Planets, stars, voices, pain, war, a child running, a woman screaming. He called out, Zalara? Her voice came from behind him. I'm here, but not for long. He turned and saw her standing in a red field under twin moons, but as he stepped forward, the scene changed. The field turned black. The moons vanished. A storm began. Zalara fell. Backward, Pulled by shadowy hands, Leo ran. The wind grew louder. The ground cracked. Ghost-like figures of the shapeshifters swirled around them. You opened the gate, a voice whispered. Now it belongs to us. Leo jumped, grabbed Zalara's hand and pulled her away. They fell through the memory floor and landed in a dark version of Earth, twisted cities, silent streets, broken skies. Zalara gasped. This is a future they want. Leo held her tightly. Then let's not give it to them. They ran through the memory city. The shapeshifters followed. Now huge, spider-like shadows crawling along the walls. One spoke directly into Leo's mind. She is the lock. You are the key. Together you are dangerous. Alone, she's just a whisper. Leo shouted, "Get out of my head." But the voice laughed. Zalara stopped suddenly. "We must finish this," she said. She pointed to a tower. Black, tall, standing in the center of the broken city. Leo frowned. "What is it?" "Their mind core. They're hiding inside it. If we destroy it, I can break free." He took her hand. "Then let's do it." They reached the tower. Its doors opened on their own like it was expecting them. Inside, walls of memory pulsed. Videos of Earth played, but twisted, broken. History rewritten. The shapeshifters wanted to erase the truth. Zalara stepped forward and touched the wall. It screamed. She dropped to her knees, blood coming from her nose. Leo ran to her. "Don't, I have to," she said. "They used my memories to power this place." Leo looked around, saw a mirror on the wall. In the reflection, he saw something that froze his heart. Himself, but not him. A second Leo, darker eyes. Cruel smile, standing behind them. He turned around. No one was there. Zalara said, "They made a copy of you, a mental clone." "To trick me," Leo whispered. "Then destroy the tower before they use it." Zalara stood, weak but ready. She held out her hands. Light flowing from her fingers, the tower shook. Walls cracked. The voices screamed. The clone appeared, roaring, grabbing Leo's arm. Leo pushed it back, yelling, "You're not me!" Zalara's voice rose. "Now!" With one final scream, she sent out a pulse of energy. The tower shattered. Leo opened his eyes in the bunker. He gasped for air. Covered in sweat, Zalara lay beside him, awake, breathing slowly. "You did it," he said. "No," she whispered. "We did." Red walked in. "What just happened?" "You were both out for hours." Leo stood. "We destroyed their mind trap. They can't control her anymore." Zalara looked up at the ceiling. "But now they'll come in the real world." Outside, the bunker, far in orbit above Earth. A ship arrived, black, silent, ancient. The enemy had come. The sky above Earth was no longer empty. A ship now floated in orbit, black as night, shaped like a blade, silent as a shadow. It didn't send a signal. It didn't show up on radar, but Zalara felt it. She woke with a jolt in the underground. Bunker, breathing fast, her eyes glowing faint gold. "They're here," she whispered. Leo stood at the door, holding a radio. "Who? The others?" she said. "But I don't know." "If they're mine?" 3 hours later, a government chopper landed near an old canyon outpost. The same agency that once buried Zalara had arrived again, this time with white flags and polite words. Their leader, Director Marcus Crane, stepped out. Tall, clean suit, fake smile. He shook Leo's hand. "We want to talk." Red whispered to Leo, "Don't trust that snake." "I've seen men like him lie with a straight face." But Leo nodded anyway. "Let's hear him out." Inside a metal tent, Marcus sat across from them. "You've caused quite the stir," he said, glancing at Zalara. "You're on every camera, every file, every radar system we've got." Zalara said nothing. Marcus continued, "We don't want war, we want peace. And you," he pointed at her, "you hold the key to both." Leo asked, "So you're here to help?" Marcus leaned back. "Yes, but we need Zalara to come with us. Our labs can protect her, she'd be safe." Zalara's voice was soft, but sharp. "You buried me like trash," Marcus smiled. "That was before we knew you were valuable," Red coughed. "He means before they found out she was alive," Marcus stood. "You can't stop what's coming. Let us handle it." Leo stared at him. "You don't want peace. You want control. Marcus didn't deny it. He simply said, think carefully. That ship above Earth, it's not waiting, it's watching. If you trust the wrong side, we all pay. That night, Leo sat with Zalara outside the bunker. Stars blinked overhead. Do you trust me? He asked. Zalara looked up. You're the only one I do. Leo nodded. Then we don't go with them. She took his hand. Then we run? He shook his head. No, we fight. Zalara smiled faintly. Good, because the beacon is still active. Leo looked at her. The same one you used before? She nodded. It's not just a signal, it's a door. If I open it again, my people can come through. Leo sat up. Then let's open it. They returned to the desert, to the place where the seed once glowed. Zalara placed her hands on the platform. Her voice changed, now steady, full of power. Ancients of the sky, I call not for mercy, but for unity. The air shimmered, the ground trembled. Above. The black ship turned. Lights flickered across its surface. A reply, but it wasn't. Zalara's people. Not yet. The reply was a warning. She is marked. Zalara stepped back. They know. The shapeshifters marked my body when they invaded my mind. I'm a target now. A beacon myself. Leo's voice was firm. Then we protect the signal. Until help comes. The next morning, Marcus returned, but this time he didn't ask. Soldiers surrounded the camp. Drones hovered above. He spoke into a loudspeaker. Zalara, surrender, or we take you by force. Red loaded his shotgun. Told you, Snake. Leo looked at Zalara. We fight? Zalara nodded. Then something strange happened. One of the soldiers broke formation. He walked forward. Alone, his voice was not human. Leo froze. What? You are more than you know. Leo looked at Zalara. Who is that? Zalara's face turned pale. He's not one of them. Then who? The soldier removed his helmet. His face glowed, not skin, energy. I came before the signal. I've been watching. Leo is connected. Leo stepped back. To what? To the weapon buried in Earth. It responds to you. Not just her, Zalara whispered. That's why you were in my dream. The glowing figure nodded. You are half of the lock. She is the other. Marcus screamed. Take them! Bullets flew, but the glowing figure raised one hand and time slowed. Zalara and Leo stood in stillness as wind froze. Bullets hung mid-air and sound vanished. He turned to them. You have one chance. Activate the last beacon. Or Earth will burn. Then he vanished. Time snapped back. Explosions, fire, soldiers yelling. Leo grabbed Zalara's hand. Where's the last beacon? Zalara touched her chest. Inside me. They ran into the canyon, dodging drones and gunfire. Red drove? The truck threw a wall of flame, picking them up. In the back! He shouted. Zalara collapsed in the truck bed, shaking. I can't hold it, she gasped. Too much energy. Leo knelt beside her. Then let me help. He placed his hand on her chest. Over the mark, the symbol glowed. A bright light burst. From her, high into the sky, blinding white, cutting the clouds, and then silence. No bullets. No voices. Just a calm. And then a sound like thunder. Far above Earth. A second ship appeared, sleek, silver, covered in stars. Her people had arrived.